Hey guys, and welcome to Adventure Prone 4x4. On today's episode, we've got something really exciting going on the front end of the nav. We have a brand new pair of spotlights. I've been posting it, I've been really excited. I'm so excited to put these on. You'll also know that I've gone through spotlight after spotlight. So the light that we've got to install is the Supernova Rogue 8.5. Now this is just a weapon of a light. I'm so excited for this. Let's just go straight in and I'm going to show you guys the light. Okay, so now they package it up in this big box here. You get real excited when you see the Supernova tape. Straight up, we've got the wiring harness. Now that is complete with everything that you need. That is included at no extra charge. Supernova usually always do that, I think. They've done that for my last pair of Supernova lights. And then we've got the big box. Alright, so now that there is the wiring harness. So you will need that. That's just so that you know what wire is what and where it goes. They've got some specs on the sheet as well, and the big moment. Whew. Now I've never really had a light of this quality on my nav before. It's only had kind of budgety, kind of not top of the line ones. So this is really exciting for me. And I'm just going to note as well, you can tell that there is something special about these lights when you open them up. Not just in the way that they package it, but just even the finish on the front, the lens, that stainless steel is so nice to look at. Let's take one out and let's have a look at one. I'm just frothing over this. Now, the interesting thing is at the bottom of the harness, you've got this little yellow wire sticking out. They use your traditional, I don't think that one's so traditional though, they use Anderson plugs, not Anderson, Deutsch plugs. But you've got this yellow wire that sticks out. Now that is for the DRLs, the daytime running lights on the side. So those little yellow strips, they do light up. You can wire those however you want. You can probably wire them on so that they come with the rest of the spotlight, but we are going to be wiring them on so that they come on when I turn just my headlights on. They're not bright enough that they're going to distract people and give people the shits. When you're driving around at night time, they're not going to be that bright. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown of these lights as a whole.
Hey guys, so a little bit of a time jump here. Obviously I've got these on and installed. I realised that throughout the filming I had an angle grinder that was really quite loud and irritating. And I wanted to refilm this because it was really quite loud. So, no angle grinder today. I'm going to leave some timestamps. This is a long-winded video. If you wanted to see any particular section of the video, I'll leave a timestamp there for you. So, let's start off with the price. They start off at about $650 is the recommended retail price. You can often catch them on special for about $580, $590 I think, which is excellent value given what you get in the box. Now, these boast one lux at 1,020 meters. That is over a kilometer, which is fantastic. They have a visible light output up to 1.8, so although you're not getting one lux, you are still getting visible light at 1.8 kilometers as well, up to 1.8 kilometers. They have a 6,000K color temperature, so they're nice and crisp. They also have 24,000 lumens per pair, obviously 12,000 per light. Now they've got 36 LEDs each spotlight. That's 18 flood and 18 spot. So they give you the best of both worlds in terms of your beam pattern. So you're not getting all this spot and no flood or vice versa. It's a nice, comfortable and even spread. And I've been using these things for a week. It's a really nice, and it's actually warmer than what you'd think for a 6,000K temp. It's actually much nicer. You still retain a lot of that color contrast, even though they are 6,000K. So really nice. But like I said, that beam pattern's excellent. There's heaps. You can see up all in the trees. You can see kangaroos, anything on the side, and it doesn't sacrifice any of that distance. Obviously you get your DRLs, which personally I think anything with DRLs just feels a little bit more premium. It's really quite nice. They've got the security bolts, the Torx security bolts at no extra charge, just like the wire and harness, which I think is kind of nice. You know, you pay $600 or more for a pair of these spotlights, and Supernova have taken that into consideration, and they've thrown these things in for free. Most other companies will charge you extra for it, which I can't think of anything worse than being shafted with, you know, having to fork out for your security bolts after you've already paid $600 to $700 for a lens. So good on Supernova for that. I think we all really appreciate that. They've also got, and I showed you this before, they've got the vertical heat sinks. They're also quite large, so that gives you better heat dissipation, and it means that they're not going to collect mud and dirt and dust and whatnot when you're going bush. The vertical heat sinks means that anything falls straight through down to the bottom and it's not going to clog it up. You've also got a 3mm GE Lexan lens on the front, which is the light cover. So that has a superior light transmission, which means that more light actually makes it through the lens. A cheaper lens will actually affect how much light, it will actually lose some light in the process, but you won't get that with this. They have a superior light transmission. They also are 200 times more impact resistant than glass, which is crazy. That's incredible. So one of the big ones, IP69K. One of the criteria for IP69K is to be able to withstand 1450 psi of pressure. Now Supernova blew that out of the park with 3200 psi. Now they also, how they did that, they use a polymer O-ring. What that does is it actually, so polymer is flexible under fluctuating temperatures, so that means it doesn't dry out, doesn't crack, and it doesn't fade away like a traditional silicon seal. Which means that, yeah, like I said, over time it's not going to crack. You know, you hit your spotlights with the high pressure hose, and you'll often get little bits of water ingress in there because the silicon's faded and cracked, and you've just pretty well, you know, blown it away with the high pressure hose. So you're not going to get that with this. And Supernova have put in the work, and they're confident you're not going to get water in these lenses. The other big thing is a lifetime warranty on these lights, which is crazy, but it's awesome for us. So where that comes from is you've got the GE Lexan lens, you've got the DuPont paint finish as well, which is not going to crack or fade or chip. It's a really nice strong coating as well. That also comes from having the best LED chips, the best internals, drivers, boosters, everything like that. So Supernova are that confident that, yeah, they're willing to put a lifetime warranty on their lens. I personally think anything with a lifetime warranty is worth the money, because it means that the company is, you know, they don't think you're going to have to replace these lights at any point in your lifetime. They're that confident that they have the best product. And that's pretty well everything done. That was a little bit long-winded, but there are so many awesome features of these lights, and I wanted to run you guys through all of them. So thanks for watching. Like I said, we're going to roll back the camera, and we are going to install these lights on the front end, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is disconnect both of my batteries. I'm going to need to do that, one, because I'm working on the electrical system, two, because I'm going to need access to the wires that hook up my, my headlights. So I'm going to be soldering or tapping into those lights for my DRLs. Okay, so I've just gone through and I've drilled the holes in the bull bar for mine, and I didn't film it because it's going to be very different to what you guys are going to have to do. I had to, and there was a lot of mucking around because I've got so many holes in the front of my bull bar now from so many different pairs of spotlights and different mounting formations, but I've gone through and not filmed that, so I'm going to show you guys the holes now. The holes that I'm going to be using will be that hole, that hole, that hole, and that hole. And the same applies over here. Now, one thing I really want you guys to take into consideration is if you have a winch, make sure that you can still access that little plug. Because I was going to have them closer to it, but then I realized that I wouldn't be able to access that. So one thing that I really want you guys to focus on when you're putting this on, if you have a winch, is to be mindful that you can still get access to that plug. So just quickly, I did want to also run you guys through how to actually put the light and the bracket together. Because Supernova have these little clips in there which make it super easy to do. It kind of takes the fiddliness out of the job. In there you've got all your bolts, you've got everything that you need in the side compartment as well of the box. You also get, that's the tool for the Torx security bits. Now, the hole in the back of the bracket, I'm going to run, so I've just run that through the bottom hole. I'm assuming that's why it's there. Now I'm going to turn the light upside down in my lap, and I'm going to just change camera angles so you guys can see. So Supernova includes these little slots. Now, it makes it really easy. So all you need to do is pick the right bolts. Now it's going to be the nuts that don't have the nylon washer in it. And all you're going to do is just put the nut, there we are, in like that. And one of the smaller ones without the nylock bit. And all you're going to do is just insert that into there. Just like that. Now I am going to whack a little bit of tape over that just to keep it in while I'm mucking around with it. And I'm going to do the other side.
tape over that one too. Now you've also got these little black pieces of plastic. Now these are going to go between the bracket and the light on the side. Now you've got two different sized holes as well. You've got a large and a small. Just make sure that your large hole lines up with your large screw. And I'm just going to pop that through now. Lovely, and I'm going to do the other side now. And that's all done. That is how you put in the light into the bracket. It's as easy as that. Alright, so quick fast forward. I've secured the lights down. Everything's been bolted up. These things look awesome on. I'm so keen to get them hooked up. Really feeling really bad about the condition of my poor faded headlights, given how shiny these things are. But what we're going to do now is we're going to run the wiring loom through the firewall, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. Now this is my little diagram that I've drawn up. This is going to explain to you guys what needs to connect to where. So at the center, you've got this relay. Now think of that as the centerpiece to the whole wiring harness. The first thing that I did was find somewhere secure to mount that near the batteries. That's because we need to mount these power cables. You'll find a power and a ground. They'll be together. One will have the inline fuse holder there, the blade fuse holder. So that needs to be mounted near the battery. Now secondly, you've got the switch. Now there's actually, down here you can see, that's a connector. What you need to do to get this through the cabin, through the firewall into the cabin, is disconnect it at the switch and just push each little prong. There'll be three. There'll be a blue, white, and probably a red. Like I said, you need to just disconnect the switch and push them down one at a time. That'll go through, mount it up on your dash however you'd like to, and then just connect that to the rest of the relay. Now, you've got the piggyback cable. So this here is the piggyback cable. This is the line that the piggyback cable connects to. Again, another connector there. And that plug there is just that piggyback connection that actually attaches to the headlights. So that's really nice and simple. Lastly, you've got your two spotlight wires. You'll know them because I've got the Deutsch plugs, and they're probably the longest wires on the entire harness. So yeah, it's really as easy as that. I'm going to quickly jump into my engine bay and show you how I've done mine. Okay, so first up, you can see that there is my relay. I have run the wires underneath, so it goes down and then it kind of comes out through all of this. Most of it does anyway. So I have got from there, this here is my cable for the switch, which runs up here. Now I am going to go through, I am pretty particular with my wiring. I'm going to go through and cut that up and solder that so it's nice and tight. I don't like having these clumps in the engine bay. But if you don't really mind, you're right to leave that in the engine bay. It's not going to worry you. There's no dangers to it. Just keep it out of the way of temperature sensitive and moving parts. But I am pretty, and it's kind of right in the way of my firewall here, so I will actually go through and probably chop that up eventually. So that little white piece there, that is the connector for the switch. So another section of the relay that comes up is obviously you've got this here, which is your power, and your ground is somewhere there. Yep, the ground there. Now I've just zip tied those nice and neatly to the main, or to the actual winch cables as well, just to keep as little as possible floating around. So that's kind of what my battery 12 volt setup looks like at the moment. Now more cables that go underneath, and you can't really see it because of my battery, but it travels up here. There is a bit of a bundle of wires just up here. Again, when I get a spare moment, I might actually go through and just clip some of those up and resolder them to make them nice and neat so they don't take up so much room. But like I said, unless you're going to be filling your engine bay with bits and bobs, if you're just putting a pair of spotties on, you probably don't need to worry so much. But because I do run a lot of cables up and down and around the engine bay with 12 volt accessories and whatnot, I do like to keep it as tidy as I can. So now you can also kind of see in there the little splice. I'll show you guys how to splice into a wire. I decided not to solder for these. I thought I'd see how I go just splicing in. I've never done that before. I usually solder. I am a solder man. I was also, yeah, just kind of curious as to how that would work. So I'll show you guys how to do that later anyway. But you've actually got, like I said, there will be a plug that will connect to the relay, to the headlight. I won't be able to show you that because it would be a case of taking my battery out. But just know that that little cable that runs up, or the little cable that's quite long actually, it's probably nearly as long as the actual spotlight leads. That is just to connect to the piggyback adapter, which you plugged in before. I've done mine under the grill. You can't really see that. There it is. And that's pretty well it. So again, there's my little tap in the yellow wire. And I'm now going to show you guys how to actually tap into the wire, but that is just a quick overview of how I did my wiring harness up. This here is the wire that you want to splice into. Okay, so putting it there, that's sitting where we want it. Now you can push down, you can use pliers, you've got to be careful though. I'll probably get pliers because I have weak little musician hands. I'm definitely getting pliers because I have got weak little musician hands. Just push that down and you'll hear it kind of click in and lock in. Oh, that didn't make any sound, but so that there is how you want it to sit. That's essentially tapped into that wire. Now you can get these in different sizes, so make sure you have the right size. And then this here being connected to my DRLs, I would just plug that into that. That is how you actually splice into a line. So they're actually a pretty good one as well. I like the way that these work. You can get some kind of pretty dodgy ones of these, but these seem really nice and solid, which is why I've decided to use these. So yeah, that's it. That's everything done. It's as easy as that to splice in for your DRLs. So don't worry about your DRLs. Like I said, it's nothing hard. All you need to do is a voltage tester. You don't even need a voltage meter. You just need a voltage tester to be able to find the right wire that you need. So, all right, let's move on to the next thing. And just to show you guys as well what the switch will look like. So, like I said, I've popped my switch through there. And I'm going to need you guys to just ignore that hole there. Turns out I can't fit a switch there, so I'm going to get a dummy switch in, because that's going to really bug me. But that there is the switch. All it does is just run under the dash. Now you need to make sure that if you have any wires down here, zip tie them out of the way. The last thing you want is to shift your foot and rip out a cable or get your cables caught up in your pedals. Be really mindful of keeping that kind of stuff out of the way of your footwell. And keep them, you should always do that anyway. Keep your zip ties, keep your cables zip tied up out of the way. So, but that's where I've mounted my switch. Nice and easy to access. I was going to do it down below on that little piece there, but it's really inconvenient to get to. So, first up, we've got the DRLs should be on. Awesome. And you should have put sunnies on, Justin. Awesome. So, that's everything in and running. What I will probably do is I'll probably try to take this out tonight and I'll show you guys just how bright these things are. But for now, that should be everything done. Like I said, everything's hooked up, connected. Be very wary to make sure that you tie up all your cables nice and neatly, tuck them out of the way of any moving parts, or any kind of temperature, anything that's going to get really hot or really cold. Try and keep them away from those parts just for the sake of your wiring. But they look really nice. I'm really excited to take these out tonight and give them a crack. But otherwise, I think that's all good to go. It's as easy as that. Their wiring harness makes it really, really simple and easy and quick to fit. Cool. That's all done. We'll roll the camera now to later tonight. We'll show you guys what they look like. So guys, these are my spotlights. Just check out how much those trees are illuminated. They actually give you really, really good peripheral. Heaps of light there. You can see kangaroos, anything like that that's floating around on the side. You can see it coming a mile away. Really, really happy with these lights, guys. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to remind you that if you want to get your hands on a set of these lights, you can head to Supernova's website. I do urge you to do that. Whether or not you're looking at tray lights, camp lights, driving lights, they've got everything from spotlights to light bars. I do urge you to check them out. They have an awesome range, an excellent service as well.
I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can go to Supernova's website and have a look for yourself. For now, I'm so impressed with these lights. I've never really had a light of this kind of quality on the front of the nav before, so like I said, I'm really stoked with these. I'm really impressed with both the light output, the overall build quality, and how easy Supernova actually make it for you to install them. Like I said, you do get your wiring harness included, which is really easy to install, even if you've not got a lot of electrical experience before or under your belt. They include the security nuts as well, which like I said, most people don't add that. So in terms of bang for buck, you're getting a really good deal with these spotlights, I'm pretty happy to say. Now guys, don't forget you can follow Adventure Prone 4x4 on Instagram, Facebook, follow me on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that little bell button, you'll get a notification every time I post a video. You can also follow my personal Snapchat, I'll throw that in the link below if you're feeling really bored. Otherwise, that's it from me. We've got heaps more coming up. For the moment, I've got 4 weeks off work with the whole COVID-19 situation, so there should be plenty of content to go around, and I'll keep you guys up to date. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.